Welcome to Reds Focus LFC fans. Today we bring you the top 4 breaking Liverpool news headlines.
Liverpool face Tottenham with massive decisions on the line. From Alexander Isak's role in midfield calls to Harvey Elliott's emotional transfer story and Arne Slot's latest update with Mohamed Salah, we've got all the key Liverpool news covered. Don't forget to subscribe for daily LFC updates. Liverpool lineups for Tottenham as Alexander Isak and midfield decisions made. Our Liverpool writers select their lineups for tonight's Premier League showdown at Tottenham Hotspur. It was a Christmas cracker when Liverpool visited the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this time last year, and the Reds will be looking for more of the same as they aim to keep their improved form going this evening. Rewind 12 months ago, and Arne Slot ran out emphatic 6-3 winners in North London to move 4 points clear at the top on their way to winning the Premier League. Fast forward to the present day, and any thoughts of defending their crown have been effectively banished by a dreadful run of 6 defeats in 7 league games. However, since then, the title holders have started to show promising signs. So can they add to Tottenham's woes today? And who should Reds boss Slot select? Our writers have their say. Paul Gorst. A 6th unbeaten game will be further evidence that Liverpool are over the worst, and a trip to a Tottenham Hotspur who are at a low ebb means Arne Slot's players must take full advantage. The home form of Thomas Frank's side has been frustrating for the Spurs faithful, and they will likely have dark memories of this time last year when the then league leaders turned up in North London and stuck 6 past them. Liverpool, in fact, scored 16 times in 4 games against today's hosts last season, and one of them they failed to score in. That was a different Reds side, though, it must be stressed, and a new-look team heads to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium looking to build on what has been an encouraging couple of weeks for a club which is still looking to delicately move away from a deeply unsettling period between late September and November. Connor Bradley returns to the team and Milos Kerkez keeps his place. Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk continue their partnership in the middle. With no Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo sidelined, the temptation is to play both Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak together. But I'm going to pack the team with midfielders who can operate in a couple of positions. So ahead of a midfield 3 of Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and Curtis Jones is Florian Wirtz and Dominik Szoboszlai, who start the game on the left and right respectively. Ekitike leads the line, and Isak and Federico Chiesa can wait in reserve if needed. Ian Doyle. It's Christmas! In a few days anyway, and while Arne Slot would very much like the present of 3 points at Tottenham Hotspur this evening, it's Christmas presents that will be bothering him more immediately, primarily because there aren't many players from which he can choose. So what then is the Reds boss to do? He at least has a number of goalkeepers, so between the sticks is Alisson Becker. The only 2 fit available center-backs are Ibrahima Konate and captain Virgil van Dijk, so they can start. At right back, Connor Bradley returns from suspension, while Milos Kerkez can continue at left back. In midfield, it's all about the formation, and I'd suggest sticking with 4-2-3-1 with Alexis McAllister alongside Ryan Gravenberch at the base and Curtis Jones as the number 10. Up top, Florian Wirtz is on the left, Dominik Szoboszlai can be patched up and put on the right, and Hugo Ekitike continues down the middle. Liverpool might be welcoming back a couple of players from injury and suspension against Tottenham, but Arne Slot still has little to play with due to enforced absences elsewhere. As a result, there are only really a couple of decisions for the Dutchman to make ahead of the trip to North London. Firstly, does Alexander Isak come into the starting 11, or does he retain an additional midfielder? I'm opting for the latter on this occasion. The Swede can be unleashed alongside Hugo Ekitike over the festive period against Wolves and Leeds instead. The in-form Frenchman leads the line as a result, with Alexis McAllister continuing at number 10 and Florian Wirtz on the left. Dominik Szoboszlai has fortunately appeared to shake off his ankle injury, so retains his starting berth too. Jeremy Frimpong is at least back from injury, so can spare the Hungarian the full 90 minutes if required with a cameo off the bench.
Meanwhile, Connor Bradley replaces the injured Joe Gomez at right back, with the rest of the back five remaining unchanged.
Harvey Elliott was left in tears after agonizing Liverpool transfer decision. Harvey Elliott was in tears as he drove away from Liverpool on deadline day, but the midfielder could now return to Anfield following a disastrous loan at Aston Villa. Elliott courted interest from a number of clubs throughout the summer transfer window, but with no deal progressing, he joined Villa on an initial loan on September 1st. It came after agonizing over his future, according to the Mail's Lewis Steele, who claims the 22-year-old was in tears as he left his boyhood club. The Harvey Elliott situation. A quick look. The emotional exit. The Mail's Lewis Steele claims Harvey Elliott was in tears as he drove away from Liverpool on deadline day, having agonized over leaving his boyhood club for Aston Villa. The frozen clause. Unai Emery appears reluctant to trigger a £35 million permanent transfer clause, leaving Elliott frozen out and stuck between a disastrous loan and a difficult return to Merseyside. January dilemma. Due to FIFA rules, Elliott can only play for Liverpool or Villa this season. While a return to Arne's slot squad is possible, it would represent a backward step following the summer arrival of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. European interest. Before joining Villa, Elliott was considered by Brighton, Leipzig, Bayer Leverkusen, and Dortmund, with Liverpool previously demanding a fee in excess of £50 million for the 22-year-old. But 3.5 months later, there is a chance Elliott is sent back to Liverpool, having been frozen out by Unai Emery, who is clearly reluctant to hit the 10-appearance target that would trigger a £35 million permanent transfer clause. Speaking in a live Q&A on Wednesday, Steele explained, "He spent the whole summer agonizing over whether to leave or not because Liverpool are his boyhood club. When he was driving to Villa, he was in tears about the fact that it didn't quite work out for him at Liverpool." A FIFA rule against playing for more than 2 clubs in any one season means Elliott cannot return to Liverpool in January before heading out again, either on loan or permanently. It leaves only 2 options: stay at Villa and try to force his way into Emery's plans, or rejoin Arne's slot squad at Anfield. Elliott would almost certainly prefer the latter, but that would effectively resemble a backward step, having already resolved to leave the club following the signing of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Furthermore, as Steele detailed, there would be financial reasons for Liverpool holding firm on keeping Elliott at Villa. The journalist continued, "The clubs could shake hands in January on terminating the loan agreement, but it doesn't really benefit anyone. Maybe he should come back, but it doesn't really suit Liverpool in terms of financial position for him to come back. You think about the other clubs that are interested. For the summer it would have to be. His value has plummeted." Brighton, Bayer Leverkusen, RB Leipzig, and Dortmund were all credited with an interest in the summer, along with a number of clubs in Spain. Whether Elliott was missold a dream at Villa Park is unclear, but he's obviously not in Emery's plans, and those tears on the way out of the AXA training center will linger in the memory as January approaches. Liverpool are very interested in signing £21.8 million forward. Liverpool eyeing Frankuliano Jew amid Bayern Munich and Dortmund interest. The race for the signing of 21-year-old forward Frankuliano Jew has taken a new turn, with both Liverpool and Bayern Munich reportedly showing significant interest in the talented striker. The FC Midtjylland star has been in remarkable form this season, netting 21 goals and providing 3 assists across 30 games in all competitions. With an average of a goal every 98.09 minutes, his stats have caught the eye of top clubs across Europe, including Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Jew's statistics so far in the 2025-26 season are hard to ignore. Across 103 games for FC Midtjylland, the Bissau-Guinean forward has registered 54 goals and 13 assists, an outstanding return for a player of his age. His performances have been a key factor in FC Midtjylland's solid season, and his goal-scoring ability has brought him to the attention of clubs such as Liverpool and Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich have been keeping a close eye on Ju, especially after the mixed results from their summer acquisition, Nicholas Jackson. While Jackson has shown flashes of promise, he has not fully delivered the impact expected from him. With Harry Kane being the mainstay in Bayern's attack, the club is reportedly looking for a younger, more dynamic option who can challenge for minutes in the long term. Ju, with his current form, fits the profile perfectly. Liverpool's pursuit of Ju. What's next? Although Bayern Munich is thought to be leading the charge for Ju, Liverpool is not far behind. According to Christian Falk, Liverpool's interest in the striker is serious, with the Premier League champions ready to challenge Bayern and Borussia Dortmund for his signature. Falk exclusively revealed that while Bayern was keen to acquire Ju last summer, FC Midtjylland was firm in their stance that they would only sell him outright rather than entertain a loan offer. This leaves the door open for a potential transfer this coming summer. For Liverpool, the need for central forward reinforcements is becoming apparent. While Arne has experimented with a two-man forward line featuring Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak, the Merseyside club could benefit from adding a player like Ju. With Liverpool currently focused on addressing defensive issues, particularly a looming centre-back crisis, Ju could emerge as a summer target rather than a priority for the upcoming winter transfer window. Ju's price tag. What can Liverpool expect? Ju is expected to cost in the region of £21.8 million to £26.2 million, which makes him an affordable option for both Bayern Munich and Liverpool. Falk noted that Bayern Munich had attempted to secure the forward last summer, but were unable to reach an agreement with FC Midtjylland, who would set a clear price tag for their prized asset. This leaves the door open for a potential transfer this coming summer. The battle for Frankuliano Ju's signature is set to intensify in the coming months, with Liverpool, Bayern Munich, and Borussia Dortmund all vying for his services. With his goal-scoring prowess and potential for growth, Ju represents an exciting prospect for any club looking to strengthen their attacking options. Liverpool will likely revisit this transfer in the summer, but for now, the focus remains on addressing their defensive needs ahead of the winter transfer window.
Liverpool team versus Tottenham predicted as Dominik Szoboszlai and Alexander Isak decisions made. Liverpool will be aiming to make it back-to-back wins in the Premier League as it faces Tottenham today, with Arne hoping Dominik Szoboszlai will be fit to start. Liverpool will be hoping to boost its top four hopes as it makes its way to Tottenham today. Arne Slot's side is looking for back-to-back league wins for the first time since September as it takes on an under-pressure Spurs side, with the heat increasing on Thomas Frank after just 2 league wins at home this season. If Newcastle can beat Chelsea in the earlier kickoff, there will also be a chance for the Reds to move back into the Champions League spots in the table, which would come as a welcome relief after what has been a tough campaign so far. Of course, Slot will have some big decisions to make with his side, not least with Mohamed Salah missing. The 33-year-old has made his way over to Morocco ahead of the start of the Africa Cup of Nations, and as doubts over his future continue, today could see the start of Liverpool's plan to eventually replace its talismanic winger. That might prove a little more difficult today, given some of the injury problems currently in the side. Dominik Szoboszlai, who has filled in on the right in recent games, is a slight doubt after being forced off against Brighton last weekend. With Cody Gakpo out injured and Jeremy Frimpong having only just returned to training after nearly 2 months out, there aren't too many options available to Slot on the right. The sight of Szoboszlai taking part in training on Friday then will have come as a relief to many, and we'd expect him to start as usual today. Speaking of which, the Reds side may take on a familiar look to last weekend's win over Brighton, with just the one enforced change. Alisson takes up his usual spot in goal, with Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate in front of him once again. Milos Kerkez will likely continue at left-back, while the return of Connor Bradley from suspension comes at a good time after Joe Gomez's injury, so the Northern Ireland international goes straight back into the side. It's as you were with the rest of the side. Curtis Jones deserves to keep his place in midfield alongside Ryan Gravenberch, with Alexis McAllister continuing as the number 10 as Szoboszlai deputizes on the right again.
Florian Wirtz stays on the left, while Hugo Ekitike should absolutely keep his place up top. Even with the Premier League's most expensive player in Alexander Isak sitting on the bench, the in-form Ekitike simply cannot be dropped at the moment.
Liverpool boss Arne Slot said he and Salah have moved on from turbulent week. Liverpool boss Arne Slot said there were no lingering issues with Mohamed Salah after the forward's recent criticism of the club, saying before Saturday's Premier League showdown at Tottenham Hotspur that the pair had moved on. Salah was a key player in the 2-0 win over Brighton and Albion at the weekend, despite the turbulent week ahead of the game following the Egyptians' scathing criticism of the club. "I said last week, actions speak louder than words," Slot told reporters on Friday. "We moved on. He was in the squad and was the first substitution I made. Now he's got AFON and will play some big games, so it's only fair that all focus is on them." Depending on how far Egypt advance at the Africa Cup of Nations, Salah could miss 7 games, starting with Saturday's fixture. Slot's men are 7th on 26 points, 10 behind leaders Arsenal. Spurs are 4 points behind Liverpool in 11th. The Liverpool manager will be missing Cody Gakpo and Joe Gomez again on Saturday, but the versatile Dominik Szoboszlai, who was forced off with an ankle injury in the closing stages of the Brighton game, could feature. Dominik trained yesterday for the first time. We'll see where he's at today. Whether he could start against Spurs completely depends on how well he does today, and then we speak to the player and the medical staff. If the player feels comfortable and does all the things he needs to do, then he will start. Dom would be a starter tomorrow if he's completely fit. Forward Gakpo has been sidelined since early December with a muscle injury that Slot initially said would likely keep him out until mid-January. "He had a scan that looked promising, so we're not that worried anymore," Slot said. "He might come back earlier than expected, but definitely not tomorrow." Defender Joe Gomez left last weekend's game early with a hamstring injury. Joe is not in the squad as well, Slot said. The defending champions had a poor start to the season, but are unbeaten in their last 5 games across all competitions and will look to maintain momentum despite missing key players. "It's the biggest village that we are organizing in the Milano Organizing Committee. We are getting closer to the team I want us to be," Slot said. "That has gone with ups and downs. For me, that makes complete sense because of the changes we made in the summer, and we made them on purpose because we thought we needed them. You have to adapt, so it takes time.